a little name dropping, a little famous name, that always impresses everybody. Kurt Cobain, Nirvana. I'm going to say at least half the audience here looking around probably knows Kurt Cobain. So Kurt Cobain, in the liner notes in Utero, wrote about this band they had heard in London, and specifically the rhythm guitar. Well, that band was the Raincoats, and I was the guitar. Yeah, so the Raincoats were a kind of proto-punk band, a girl band out of the United Kingdom, and I was there going to school, and I joined the Raincoats. And the kind of girl bands that were around at the time were like the Go-Go's, the Slits, the Runaways, and a lot of them were doing like the girly thing. They would show cleavage. The Slits took their shirts off and covered themselves with mud for a CD cover. So we were doing something very different. The Raincoats were very different. And another name I'm going to drop is Charlie. Checkpoint Charlie. What you have to know is that this is a time in Europe before 1989 when there were still communist dictatorships in Europe. Well, someone in Poland, which was a communist country, had heard about the Raincoats and the Arts Underground. I have no idea how. And we were invited to perform at an international arts symposium in Warsaw. So we got our visas together, and we boarded the train with our guitars and amps and suitcases and everything. We get on the train, and somewhere around midnight, the train screeches to a halt, and we had arrived at the Berlin Alexanderplatz. This is Checkpoint Charlie. And everybody's told to get off the train, everybody. And this looming tower is like over the station, with these floodlights going around and around, and kept beaming down on you. And I just felt like I'm guilty, but I really wasn't guilty for anything. Just the feeling that you got. I didn't have any contraband. I wasn't even using any drugs yet. So they're like, what are they looking for? They start ransacking the guitar cases and everything. They were looking for books, magazines, postcards, cassettes, anything that would indicate a Western influence that they did not want going to the Eastern Bloc. So they confiscated all that. Told us to get back on the train, we bumped along, and we all got to Warsaw by the morning, and we were met at the train by an ambassador, came to pick us up in a van. She piled us up into the van, and when we arrived at the theater, this theater was like legit. It was big, like the marquee, and there were all these kids screaming, like, I'm outside screaming, I was waving, like, how do you even know, We weren't big like the Slits or the Runaways. We weren't big, we were like low-rent version of girl band, but there we were. Anyway, we were kind of really quickly ushered into the theater, and the theater, suddenly, the first thing I noticed is seats. Seats with assigned cards. This was not going to be like the mosh pit audience. The assigned cards were an invited Polish government audience, so this was not exactly the cool concert, but, how many times in your life are you going to get to play the behind the iron curtain? So it was going to be fine. And we're doing our set, later on we get up on stage, we're doing our set, and Team Gina's bouncing around with the brothel creepers and everything. She's up there, and I've got me stilettos and me satin pants, and by the way, you can look it up. Is that my bell? Oh, you can look it up on YouTube, and it's there on YouTube. It says Raincoats Warsaw. Anyway, so Gina's jumping around, and we're finishing our set with the last song, and suddenly we hear, boom, boom, in the back of the theater, boom, and the doors fly open, and there's these kids that were not part of the invited polite audience. The kids that were outside come running into the theater, they charge towards us, and they've got signs that say punk rock, Raincoats, or signs have accents. And the two kids went running up the catwalk and dropped this banner down over the stage, and the banner said, Solidarność. This was the time of solidarity. This was the revolution. We were part of the solidarity revolution. We didn't plan on that. also part of the feminist revolution. And we didn't know that either at the time. Well, anyway, at that moment, the security guards rose up and got it, and they rose up and pushed everybody, including the invited guests, outside. And we got off the stage and we went outside to join the fans, fans. And everybody's running, they loved us. What's humbling is these are kids in Poland trying to be punk rock. And the most that they could do was they could take their state-issued council eyeglasses and dangle safety pins from them. That's just humbling. So here we were part of a revolution and part of two revolutions of feminism. So what I have to say is, next time you go into a coffee shop that's maybe unionizing, or you go to a gay bar and toast your partner, you're part of a revolution. You're creating history by doing that. And you'll be able to look back in history and say, I was there.